at second, his college teammate Bush at first. First pitch home. It's a fastball that catches the inside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. We were talking to Cameron Ezair before the game, Sam, and he said lefties hit significantly better against this pitching staff for Wareham than righties. So maybe that's the decision?
Maybe with Hunter's struggles lately, just
0-1 to Caden. He nubs one, cues one off the end of the bat down the third base line foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
the fact that, Hunter's now on a 2 for 34 stretch, maybe Coach Pickler saw something that he didn't really like out of Hunter in that first at bat and said, we got a chance to put some runs on the board here. I'm going to get a hitter in there who's got a bit of a better chance, perhaps.
Bush at first with great speed. Lou at second with decent speed. The 0-2. Runners go. Caden Connor fouls one back to the screen. Fastball he catches up to. And both runners retreat back to their bags. 2 in on a Homer Bush Jr. single to right that scores Johnny Long and Fernando Gonzalez. Caden Connor pinch hitting for Hunter Haas in the second. Red Sox looking for more offense against the Wareham Gatemen at home at Red Wilson Field. Sokol stares in. Somebody's getting warm in that Wareham bullpen down the right field line. 0-2. Slider misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Caden Connor. 2 outs, 2 on. 2-0 YD, bottom of the second. Thanks so much for joining us on this Red Shirt Friday. A beautiful day for baseball. No clouds in the sky, light breeze. Travis Staley getting warm. 1-2. Fastball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes in that Wareham pen. Red Sox saw him back on the ninth. Went 2 innings. Gave up 1 run. Wasn't his, though. And 2 hits. 2 on, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-0 YD. Bottom of the second. The pitch. Fastball away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the deuces are wild. Lou leads at second, a huge lead with 2 outs. Homer Bush Jr. at first. They'll be off with a pitch. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Red Sox looking to add 2 more runs after a big 2-out RBI hit. 3-2. Caden Connor takes ball 4 low. Slider misses. On to second goes Homer Bush Jr. At third is Zach Lou. Caden Connor coming off the bench, working himself aboard with a walk, and the 2-out rally continues. Here's Cole Carrig. Switch hitter batting from the left side as the catcher Burks wants to go talk to Carrig. Catcher Burks wants to go talk to his pitcher Sokol. And what has become a long bottom of the second inning. If you're just joining us, Mike Bovey popped up to second. Johnny Long was hit by a pitch. Hayden shot, flew out to left. And with 2 outs, things just fell apart for Jack Sokol. Walked Fernando Gonzalez on a full count. Zach Lou singled on a bunt single to load the bases. And Homer Bush Jr., a 2 RBI single on the ground into right, which scored Long and Gonzalez. Lou stands at third. Homer Bush at first. Caden Connor, Homer Bush at second. Caden Connor at first. And now Eddie Marco is going to go talk to Sokol. We'll see if he goes to his bullpen, where Travis Staley is getting warm. This is the first mound visit by the bullpen, but second mound visit after the catcher Burks went out. So you wonder if this might be it. A strike away was Sokol. And that's going to do it. We will take a break here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. 2-0. The YD Red Sox lead the Wareham Gatemen. Bases loaded, 2 outs when we return. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Levowitz. We've seen 107 pitches in this game, and we are not through the bottom of the second inning. 58 by Jack Sokol. He hands the baseball off to Travis Staley. 2-0, Whitey leads Wareham in the bottom of the second. The bases are loaded with 2 outs for the switch-hitting lefty Cole Carrig as we approach the hour mark here at Merrill Red Wilson. At third is Zach Liu. At second, Homer Bush Jr. He had a 2 RBI single back in the second against Sokol. And at first, Caden Connor. Bottom 2, 2-0. Whitey leads Wareham. Cole Carrig trying to add more. Opening offer. And he takes a fastball at the knees for a strike. Staley pitched against this Whitey Red Sox team back on July 9th. Went 2 innings, gave up a run, 2 hits, 1 walk, and the 10 batters he faced. He has a 5.4 ERA and 6 2/3. He stands with the glove pinned against his left hip, working from the third base side of the rubber. Comes set at the belt. 0-1. Carrig swings, bloops one into left field, a base hit. Stopping at first is Homer Bush Jr. Scoring from third is Zach Liu. It's a bloop RBI single for Cole Carrig. That adds another run to the board, 3-0. Whitey leads Wareham.
Nice piece of hitting. Just get one out over the plate and poke it the other way. Cole has always done a good job of taking the pitch where it's pitched and going straight with it. Did exactly that there. A fastball up and away, not trying to do too much with it, just trying to move everyone aboard. And had it not been such a shallow hit, then Homer Bush, I think, would have had a chance to score. Probably still did have a chance to score with all his speed. You never know.
Switch hitter batting from the left side is Braden Montgomery. Open stance against the ready Staley. Base is still juice, still 2 outs. The pitch. Montgomery fouls one back to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Wind gusting out to left. The trees swaying back and forth. Whitey Red Sox looking to get a win before the All-Star break tomorrow. Wareham hosting the All-Star game. Homer Bush Jr., who leads at third, and Cole Carrig, who leads at first, will be at that game. Caden Connor is at second. 0-1. Montgomery rips one down the right field line. That ball is back, and it's gone! A grand salami for Braden Montgomery as he makes it 7-0 in the bottom of the second. Whitey has busted it open on the second home run of the summer by the Stanford switch hitter.
Well, talk about the power potential with Braden Montgomery all the time. And we saw him unload on one earlier this week to straightaway center. That one he pulled down the line. The Red Sox, who have struggled with the bases loaded all season long, and that was a no-doubter. Owen Diodati hardly moved heading into the right field corner. What a shot for Braden Montgomery, and what a treat he's been to watch through these first 8 or 9 games as a Red Sox.
Mike Bovey, the switch-hitting lefty, or the left-handed batter, looks at a first pitch strike on the inside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. 101 off the bat, 356 feet. Big thank you to Patrick, one of our analytics interns. 0-1. Bovey fights a fastball back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. 7 runs in, Sam. All have come with 2 outs.
Impressive stuff. And it all really started with that bunt single by Zach Liu to just get the ball rolling.
Bottom of the second inning, 7-0. Whitey leads Wareham and is what has turned into a pummeling here at Red Wilson Field. The 0-2. Bovey swings, bloops one into left field, a base hit. The hitting continues. Mike Bovey gets a knock. Everybody but Hayden Schott has reached in this game. We are 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Here's Johnny Long.
If you're Grant Taylor right now, you're probably smiling and saying, all right, guys, this is nice. A little bit of run support today. 7-0 lead. At least we're still batting here in the bottom of the second that he'll have before he comes out to the mound. And Red Sox are living good ending the break right now.
Ready, Johnny Long swings at the first pitch, gets nothing but air. No balls and 1 strike on the fastball low. Long started this all, was hit by a pitch by Jake Sokol. Bovey at first with 2 outs. 7-0 Whitey leads Wareham. Here's the 0-1. Johnny swings and golfs one down the right field line, foul. No balls and 2 strikes. I believe, Sam, it's the first time this summer the Red Sox have homered in back-to-back games.
Feels like it could be right. I could tell you right now that this is the largest offensive output the Red Sox have had in a single inning. It beats 6. They did that in the first inning against Wareham early in the season. That was that record-setting hit-by-pitch game here at Red Wilson Field.
The 0-2. Fastball on the outer edge. Strike 3 call. Johnny Long can't believe it. He shakes his head as he looks at Mark Delaney. They exchange a few words, and that ends the second inning. Write this down. Here comes a lot at you. In the second inning, 7 runs came across on 5 hits, 1 left on, and YD takes a 7-0 lead into the third. We'll be right back here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. The Red Sox are blowing it open.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
Well, hello from Captain Parker's Pub over in West Yarmouth on Route 28. The entire crew from Captain Parker's wants to give a big salute to the Cape Cod Baseball League, especially the young players that have dedicated so much time and effort to baseball, America's pastime. So join us for lunch or dinner or just a bowl of our world-famous clam chowder. Captain Parker's, easy to find, awfully hard to leave. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz. We welcome you into the top of the third inning as the Whitey Red Sox are dominating the Wareham Gatemen, leading 7-0 after pushing 7 across, all with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Wareham Gatemen, facing the ready Grant Taylor. It's the top of the lineup, Campos, Anderson, and Diodati. Left-handed bat of Ryan Campos looks on. Here comes Taylor's first pitch to the plate. Fastball misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Sam, quite the offensive output, the most runs in a single inning by YD. And Grant Taylor, after that long frame, tasked with keeping it a 7-run game.
Well, Taylor's had issues with the walks so far in this game, but that's the one thing you can't do, given a big lead.
1-0 is a fastball high. 2 balls and no strike. He's walked 3, struck out 4 in the 9 he's faced.
Just want to throw strikes, let your defense do the work behind you, because any free base runners are just going to give Wareham hope. They've got 7 innings to make up 7 runs, and you don't want to give them any chance.
2-0. At the knees for a strike on the fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. You think about Wareham and their struggles. 0-6-3 in their last 9 games. A big reason because of that is in their last 8 contests, their ERA is north of 6.
And it's only going to go up for now.
2-1 down the hill. Hit sharply on the ground, left side of the infield. Off the belt buckle of Cole Carrick. The shortstop can't corral as it sputters over behind second. We'll see if that's a hit. No, it's an error. So Carriage charged with the E6. Campos reaches, and here's Max Anderson. 1 on, nobody out for Wareham.
Carrick newly into the shortstop position, started in center, only played about an inning and a half out there after Hunter Haas was pinch hit for. Caden Connor stays in the game, is in left field. Homer Bush slides over to center, and Carrick slides from center to shortstop.
Thank you, Sam Lebowitz.
I'm on top of it.
Righty Max Anderson bounces the bat off his shoulder. Opening offering is a fastball that misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. At first leads Ryan Campos, a Wareham Gateman All-Star. He'll be in his home stadium tomorrow for the All-Star game. mini 2-game All-Star break after today's contest. 1-0 to the goggled Anderson, and he cues one off the end of the bat towards the vacant on-deck circle of the Whitey Red Sox. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Campos with 3 stolen bases, but testing the right arm of Fernando Gonzalez has been a futile task for base runners this summer. When it's close, Fernando has won every matchup. Nobody out, runner at first, 7-0 Whitey leads, top 3, 1-1. Change up, Anderson fouls it off, back to the chain link fence behind home plate. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7 2-out runs for the Whitey Red Sox in the bottom of the 2nd inning, including a grand slam by Braden Montgomery. 1-2. Curveball, swinging a foul on the first baseline. Just off the end of the bat. Sam, you think about this Wareham team. They're without their manager, Harvey Shapiro. They've been a part of so many blowouts in the last couple of weeks. If you're the batters of the Gatemen, how do you try to mentally get back into this game? You're on the precipice. I know it's early, but down 7-0 of going 10 games without a win. 1-2. Fastball foul tipped into the glove of Gonzalez. Strike 3. There's the 5th strikeout for Grant Taylor. It's the first out of the top of the 3rd with 1 on and 1 out. Campos at first after his E6. Here's Owen Diodati.
I think, Carlo, you just got to try to have the same mentality of being unselfish. If Grant Taylor's throwing the ball outside the strike zone, just leave it alone. Try to work deep counts, try to get into the Red Sox bullpen, which is a little bit beleaguered right now with losing so many players to the draft. It looks like Aaron Calhoun has started throwing for the Red Sox.
First pitch to the lefty, Diodati, is a curveball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Diodati on his way to Oregon. The Washington State Cougar, Grant Taylor atop the mound, trying to clip the feathers of the Oregon Duck. Throw down to first. Back on a head-first slide is Campos as he dirties up the front of his Navy uniform. Taylor with the thick beard attached to his chin. Looks towards first, closed off stance in the Jordans. Here comes his 1-0. Runner starts and stops, and a curveball misses above the zone on the inside edge, just to the left of the belt buckle of Owen Diodati, who flew out to left his last time up. 2 balls and no strikes to him. 7-0 YD, top of the 3rd here against Wareham. Diodati on a 5-game hitting streak. 2-0. Fastball misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Close pitch. Mark Delaney not enticed. 3-0 count. Mike Bovey switches spots with the shortstop Cole Carrick as he goes to the right of second. Why shift there at a 3-0 count, Sam? Usually we see him shift with 2 strikes. Maybe just the idea that he's not going to bunt. 3-0. Diodati taking the whole way. Looks at a strike. Knee high.
I think it's literally that simple. If you want to have your third baseman as close to home as you can if there's a threat of a bunt so that he's the one who can field it, because you figure that's a play he's more used to making. But in a 3-ball count, probably not a thing you're going to see.
Carrick is playing pretty much up the middle at shortstop. There's nobody on the left side. Even Caden Connor, the left fielder, is shifted over into right center field. 3-1. Diodati takes it on the right delt. On his backside, that one clipped him hard. He says he's all right as he jogs down to first. On to second goes Ryan Campos. And still Grant Taylor has not allowed a hit, but he has 6 batters reached so far. For a no-hit, 2 1/3, this has been the busiest base paths we've seen all summer.
Yeah, lots of traffic, and he's been very wild in this outing so far. And Aaron Calhoun is starting to throw a little bit. And talk about given a 7-0 lead, you just got to throw strikes. And Grant Taylor, who has had issues with the command this year, 3 walks and a hit by pitch, it's not really getting the job done.
Faces the left-handed bat of Chase Davis. Throw back to second. Going back is the shortstop Cole Carrick. Back on a head-first slide is Campos with decent speed at second. Max Anderson behind him with not world-class speed at first. Just 1 stolen base. Excuse me, Owen Diodati is at first. No stolen bases for him. 7-0. The Whitey Red Sox lead the Wareham Gatemen. We are in the top of the 3rd inning with 1 out. Pac-12 on Pac-12. First pitch, blooped right back to the pitcher, Taylor. He lost to first, throws it over the head of the first baseman, Johnny Long. On to third on the play goes Ryan Campos. Diodati heads to second. Taylor had a tailor-made double play and bluffed the throw. Got a little too excited as he lofted it over the head of the first baseman, Johnny Long. And instead of being out of the inning, 2 in scoring position with 2 out for Blake Wright.
You're right. Taylor had a tailor-made double play. He had both runners caught off the bases trying to get back to their bags. And regardless of whether he chose to throw to second or to third, he was going to have a play there, but he just goosed it and tossed it too high for Johnny Long.
Right into Nevada, Blake Wright looks on. Fastball misses high. Grant Taylor wearing the Jordans. Atop the mound, 1 ball and no strikes. In basketball, they call that missing the bunny. Right there for you. At third is Ryan Campos. He reached on an E6. At second, Owen Diodati. He reached on a hit-by pitch. 1-0 is a slider for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. 7-0 YD. All 7 runs coming in the bottom of the second as we inch forward here at Red Wilson Field. Taylor, right arm, droops by his right pocket. He comes set, belly button high. 1-1. Fastball, swing and a miss. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taylor is a strike away. Walked Blake Wright his last time up. Red Sox trying to pick up a win against a Western Division opponent. Would be their 10th of the summer. They're 9-4-2 against the West. 1-2. Slider misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Deuce is wild on the top of the third. Blake Wright on a 5-game hitting streak. Wareham does not have a hit today, but Wright with a single could theoretically bring home 2 with 2 in scoring position. Taylor's 2-2. Fastball fouled back to the screen. And Sam, the story on Grant Taylor all summer has been his ability to work out of traffic. Can he do it again? Walk the runner in the first, 2 in scoring position in the second, 2 more in scoring position here in the third.
Chance to strain 2 more and leave 5 runners on base for the first 3 innings for Wareham.
2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Here it comes. Big curve, misses up and away. And the count runs full, 3-2. Flag quiet in left. Aaron Calhoun throwing down that left field line. Fans filling up the bleachers down the line. The shadows creeping onto the field. Grant Taylor's shadow extraordinarily long on the 6'4" pitcher atop the mound. Over towards first. 3-2. Fastball smacked into right field. The right fielder shot racing over. It's foul.
Ooh, just foul. Inches.
First base umpire Mark Lima put his hands in the air. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 out. First base is open. Derek Fabian is on deck. Fabian struck out one of 5 strikeout victims. And after running for a while, all the way almost to second, Blake Wright walks back, picks up the bat. We have played an hour and 15 minutes of baseball. We're not into the bottom of the third. Good news is there's no clouds in the sky today. And usually at Red Wilson Field, that means we are able to get our innings in. It has been cloudy days that have made it hard to see the baseball, but the sun doesn't set till 8:15. And so if there's no clouds blocking the sun, in the past, that has been a good sign. And now time is called. At third leads Campos. At second, Owen Diodati. 2 outs, 2 on, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Taylor deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 6 strikeout for Grant Taylor. Ends the top of the third inning. 2 reach, 2 left in scoring position. No runs come across for Wareham. 7-0. We head to the bottom of the third. YD with the bottom of the lineup due up as they lead Wareham.
MP Sports Cards is proud to sponsor the Kids Baseball Clinics. If you're a sports card collector, be sure to stop by and check out the latest releases, graded cards, supplies, and more. A local favorite for hobby enthusiasts across Massachusetts and, of course, your Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in our store and mention code Red Sox to get one free pack of 2022 Topps Baseball Update with any purchase. Some exclusions apply. Visit us at 71 Main Street in Carver, Mass. or online at mpsportscards.com. That's mpsportscards.com.
Welcome back to Red Wilson Field. Carlo Jimenez with you here alongside Sam Lebowitz, our producer Zach Clapp, where the Whitey Red Sox have a 7-0 lead. We begin the bottom of the third, 7 runs, all coming with 2 outs in the second inning, and Staley still atop the mound for the Wareham Gatemen. Staley came in with the bases loaded. Only 2 runs had come across. He gave up a single to Cole Carrig and a grand slam to Brady Montgomery before striking out Johnny Long to end the frame. Hayden shot, Fernando Gonzalez, Zach Lou due up 7-8-9 to face the right-handed pitcher, Travis Staley. Whitey Red Sox and the Wareham Gatemen going at it, the final game before the All-Star break tomorrow. Left-handed batter looks on, first pitch, and he bends backwards as a fastball misses at his toes. The count, 1 ball and no strikes. Whitey with 7 runs in the second, the most they've scored in a single frame this summer. Shot stands in, 1-0. And he takes a fastball high. 2 balls and no strikes. Blonde hair and a beard for Hayden Schott. The pants that end just above the shoes. He holds the bat almost in front of him. Hands in front of the Cape Cod on his uniform. 2-0. And he swings and cues one down the third base line. It lands in the front row of some seats, and a youngster makes a two-handed, barehanded snag. Not an out, but a highlight play.
Outstanding. Good form with no glove. Catch it, bring it into your body like you're catching an egg. And that was perfect by the youngster. He's wearing a very, very nice collared shirt as well. Came to play today.
2-1. Shot swings, belts one into right field, going back to right fielder Diodati. He watches it fly away. Welcome to Whitey. Hayden Schott with a bullet into right. It's 8-0. The Whitey Red Sox lead the Wareham Gatemen.
What a shot by Hayden Schott. Oh, man, that landed in the backyard in right field. The man who lives in that house has come out on the back porch to see what kind of damage just got done to his bushes. Oh, Hayden Schott. Welcome to Whitey.
That was a rocket. When it rains, it pours. The Whitey Red Sox have an 8-0 lead in the bottom of the third. Here's Fernando Gonzalez, the right-handed batter, with nobody out and nobody on. Opening offering to him, the right-handed batter swings and foul, taps one into the glove of Burks. That was a home run swing from Nando. He's trying to join the party. Talked about that easy power last time Schott was up, and a great representation of it there. He didn't load up on that swing. 1-0. Gonzalez looks at a slider away. 2 balls and no strikes. It was just a easy-going swing, Sam, and the 6'3 lefty send it into the stratosphere.
Right into his happy zone. That was in the wheelhouse, down and in for shot. He just turned and burned. And a no-doubter by every definition of the word.
1-1. Gonzalez waves, and the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to him. I mean, the Logan Webb telescope could have picked that ball up.
100 miles an hour off the bat, 416 feet away, that home run by Hayden shot.
Which I believe is the longest by a Red Sox this summer. 1-2. Gonzalez pokes one down the right field line, foul, and awaits another 1-2 pitch with nobody on and nobody out, 8-0 YD. Brady Montgomery had one that went 408 to straightaway center a couple days ago. But the YD Red Sox, who were not known for home runs, had a 1 through the first 15 days in the month of July, have 3 in their last 2 games. 1-2. Gonzalez bounces one to second. The second baseman, Padilla, takes it on the third hop. Ankles high, lost to first. 1 out. And here's Zach Liu, picked up his first single of the summer, his last time up, and came around to score. 1 out, bottom 3, 8-0 YD. Liu, a right-handed batter. Shadows starting to creep onto the field here at Red Wilson. Flag drifting and left. Not a lot of wind. The leaves blowing back and forth on the trees in center. Opening offering to Liu, a slider on the outer edge. No balls in 1 strike. With 1 out. Zach Liu, a Big West honorable mention, facing Staley, who has surrendered 2 home runs in this outing. Prior to the outing, the 0-1 misses high. Breaking ball can't break. 1 ball, 1 strike. Only 2 hits were allowed by Staley in each of his outings. He's already surrendered 4 to the YD Red Sox. 2 of them have been home runs. 1-1. And Liu, with a half swing, chases a changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No runs, no errors, no hits for the Wareham Gateman. 8 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the YD Red Sox. Fun day to be at the park here on Red Shirt Friday. Thanks so much for spending your Friday afternoon with us. 1-2 to Liu. Swing and a miss. He chases a high fastball and strikes out. Second strikeout for Travis Staley is the second out of the bottom of the third. Lineup card flips. Here's Homer Bush Jr., who had a 2 RBI single his last time up. Well, Sam, we talked about in the open that this might be a trap game. The YD Red Sox were trapped.
Yeah, I think that the Red Sox have this one pretty well in tow. Still plenty of time. Want to make that clear, but this is a pretty good start.
A lot of baseball left. Righty Homer Bush Jr. comes out swinging and rolls the first pitch down the left field line foul. Now no balls in 1 strike. Shadows across the left field line. They end about midway to the foul pole in left field. See if Scott Bickler starts getting some guys into the game we haven't seen yet. With the 8-0 lead in the bottom of the third. 0-1 is a slider that misses off the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Homer Bush Jr. 1 for 1 today with a walk. Hayden Schott began this inning by sending a ball into orbit in right. 1-1. Homer takes a fastball high. 2 balls and a strike. A grunt at the end of that one from Travis Staley, putting everything in his back into that pitch. He toes the third base side of the rubber, holds the ball behind his hip. Left glove pinned against his left hip. 2-1. Bush takes a strike. Top of the zone. On the outside edge of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Staley with a chance to retire 3 batters in a row after surrendering the home run. 8-0 YD, bottom 3. Offense galore by the Red Sox. 2-2. Bush swings, lifts one the other way into right field. On a line, it bounces in front of the right fielder, Diodati. Homer Bush Jr. with his second hit of the day. He's 2 for 2. as he keeps the bottom of the third inning going with 2 outs. This is where Whitey jumped on Wareham. All 7 runs in that second inning coming with 2 outs. In stands Caden Connor, who took a walk and scored in that 7-run frame. Still not sure why Caden came in for Hunter Haas after his 1 at-bat. I'll try to get an explanation after the game for you. Homer Bush Jr. with 8 stolen bases this summer. He leads at first, a healthy lead. See if he's running with 2 outs. Left-handed bat of Caden Connor looks towards Staley. Throw back to first. Bush back and ahead for a slide. Swipe a tag applied by Anderson. Doesn't catch Homer Bush Jr. I want to give a big shout out to our writer and pro tweeter, Mike Puzingara, today, because our stream wasn't up for a little bit. First pitch to the lefty, Caden Connor, is a strike on the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike on the fastball. And on Homer's RBI single to right, Mike took the time to literally draw the single and tweet it out. Bush at first. The 0-1. Fastball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fans filling up the burn down the third base line. The shadows continue to lengthen here at lightless Red Wilson Field. 8-0. YD leads Wareham. Looking for a win before the All-Star break. Trying to grab their 10th of the summer against the Western Division as the league leaders in the East. Another throw to first. Another head-first slide. The white pants of Homer Bush Jr. turning brown. I don't think Homer's ever left the game with a clean jersey, Sam.
Never.
When he gets on base, the poor people who do the laundry for the Whitey Red Sox cringe a little bit. Takes an extra lead at first. 1-1 to Caden Connor. Fastball away. 2 balls and a strike. 7 hits, 8 runs for the Whitey Red Sox, who lead 8-0. Caden Connor, in his last 5 games, 7 for 15, has a 5-game hitting streak going. The Cal State Fullerton Titan with the open stance, back in the batter's box. Bat hovers over his left shoulder. And the 2-1 down the hill. Change up in the dirt. Good block by the catcher Burks as he slides to his right, sheds the mask, uncovering his bright blue UK helmet, which stands for Kentucky. Runner at first, 2 outs, a run across on a solo home run. The 3-1. Caden Connor pops one up behind home plate. Racing back is Burks. The catcher over towards the on-deck circle of Wareham slides and makes the catch. Caden Connor pops out in foul territory, and that ends the bottom of the third. Sam Lebowitz will have the middle innings for you after an hour and a half of baseball here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. 2 hits, 1 left on, and a solo home run for Hayden Schott makes this an 8-0 YD lead as we head to the 4th.
Hey Sox fans, have you ever thought about buying or selling a home? Emily Szymanski of the Salty Dog Group is your pet-friendly neighborhood realtor. As part of the team at Keller Williams Realty of Cape Cod and the Islands, Emily's your go-to resource for home buying and selling. Call Emily Szymanski at 508-221-0196. That's 508-221-0196 or visit thesaltydoggroup.kw.com. We go to the middle frames here. We'll take you through the fourth. And the Red Sox will have a new arm on the mound as they lead the Wareham Gatemen 8-0 as we crawl to the All-Star break here at Red Wilson Field on a pretty Friday evening. Aaron Calhoun will take over on the mound for Grant Taylor, who had an interesting outing. Taylor didn't allow a hit to these Wareham Gatemen through the first 3 innings, but did walk 3 batters, hit 1 with a pitch, allowed another batter to reach on an error.
It's not often you face 14 batters and don't allow a hit in 3 innings.
No, Carlo, I don't think that that's normal at all. So, Aaron Calhoun takes over for YD on the mound for the 4th inning and gets Derek Fabian, Devin Burks, and Cam Chick. That's 6 through 8 in the Wareham lineup, who have lots of work to do climbing uphill in this ball game. They trail YD 8-0 right on right here. Calhoun from the first base side of the rubber. The first pitch is hit in the air, pretty well hit. Down the left field line, Caden Connor chasing it into the corner, and he runs it down. 1 pitch for Calhoun and 1 away to start the 4th. Fabian 0 for 2.
Off the bat, thought maybe that would have had a chance, but Fabian just missed it, made good contact, but was out in front.
Got it off the end of the bat, and Calhoun the beneficiary of his miss hit. Calhoun's 4th appearance for YD. First one since July the 19th against Harwich. That was that 7-7 tie, and Calhoun had that game on cruise control. He went 3 1/3 until the 9th inning when he struggled a tad. First pitch home to Devin Burks, misses away. The catcher walked his first time for Wareham. Calhoun gave up 2 runs. Both of those were in that 9th inning. Went 3 1/3 total, couldn't get out of the 9th. 2 runs wound up coming home across his ledger before YD came back to tie it. 1-1. 1-0 is a fastball strike, 1-1. Overall, the numbers in terms of the ERA are not super pretty for Calhoun. 7.50 across his 3 outings. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. 1-1. Fouled straight back. Another fastball, and the count 1-2 from the Oklahoma University Sooner, who pitched in 12 games for OU this year. Kind of a mop-up duty guy. 12 total innings in his 12 appearances. Just going to be a sophomore next year, and a lot to like in that young arm. 1-2 in the dirt, a changeup. Mid-90s fastball, a sharp slider in that changeup that has lots of dip on it.
He didn't pitch in many high-leverage situations at Oklahoma, but Scott Pickler has really trusted his right arm here on the Cape.
Has seen his role elevated for YD with the changes in the YD bullpen after the draft. 2-2. Swing and a miss, the changeup. And Burks down swinging. First strikeout for Aaron Calhoun after Grant Taylor struck out 6 in his 3 innings of work. It brings up Cam Chick, the switch-hitting left fielder. Chick a strikeout his first time through as well. Chick a 2nd-year Cape Codder as the infield shifts to the pull side on the switch hitter batting left. Spent last year with Chatham, played 9 games for them, hit just 143. Now moving across the bridge to be a Gateman. First pitch, fastball. That grabs the knees on the outside corner for strike 1. Chick spent 4 years with Nebraska and will spend his final year of eligibility with Missouri. 0-1. Fastball misses away. Mizzou will be his home for his 5th and final year, and it's home for him. He's from Missouri originally, from Rocheport. The 1-1. At the knees, a strike, another fastball. Just his 3rd game this summer. Came into today 0 for 3 in his first pair of contests as a Gateman. A ball and 2 strikes on him. The infield in the horseshoe. On its way. Taken on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. painted the outside edge with a fastball. Aaron Calhoun, a 1-2-3 frame here in the top of the fourth. With a pair of strikeouts, he pushes us along to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Red Wilson Field as we head into the All-Star break. The Red Sox lead the Gatemen 8-0. Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops and first responders who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the YD Red Sox and all Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday, just like the Red Sox are wearing right now. The special celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by Zephyr Hats, the Massachusetts State Lottery, and OT Sports. Support our troops and first responders and join us by wearing red each Friday. And today, we're honoring right now, proud to honor and welcome Sergeant John M. Alexander Jr. of the Barnstable Police Department, who is our Mass State Lottery Hero of the Game. John is a supervisor of the Veterans Outreach Unit, a Veterans Resource Officer, and a member of the Peer Support Team, Crisis Intervention Team, and Honor Guard Unit, and the Cape and Islands Critical Incident Support Team. John is being honored with Interim President Shane Skinner along the third base line out in front of the YD dugout, and we thank you for your service, John. Bottom half of the fourth inning, it's been all Red Sox in this one, 8-0 in the early stages of this ball game. Here on a sunny Friday evening from South Yarmouth, and the Red Sox will look to score more against Wareham right-hander Travis Staley, who has worn the brunt of this. While they're not all his runs, he came in relief of Jack Sokol with runners on base in the second inning after only two were home. Came in with the bases loaded. Cole Carrig hit an RBI single. Braden Montgomery cranked a grand slam, a 7-run second for the Red Sox. Hayden Schott added a long solo homer in the third. That's where we stand. He gets Carrig, Montgomery, Mike Bovey, the middle of the Red Sox order here in the fourth. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez, our producer Zach Clapp, here in a thankfully air-conditioned booth above Red Wilson Field with some summer high temperatures in the middle of the Cape today. Got to the mid to upper 90s on your thermostats earlier in this one, but we can't tell from our perch behind home plate. Cole Carrick, switch hitter, batting left. First pitch from Staley. Breaking ball that doesn't break, it sits high. 1 ball, no strikes. Our friend over in the Wareham booth, Cam Azier, came up to chat with us before the game, and as soon as he saw that it was air conditioned up here, he let out an exasperated, jealous sigh. The 1-0. Nubbed softly out in front of the plate, fielded on the second hop by Staley. He runs to the first base bag and flips underhand to Anderson. 1 away.
Well, Cam's not suffering exactly down there. We did get him a tent. He's completely in the shade now. So.
He's covered. We're making sure that he's not under the direct sunlight. With 1 away, Braden Montgomery's got the biggest swing in this game. Will hit for YD. Grand slam his last time through. Montgomery's second home run of the summer. Both have come in this ballpark. RBIs 8, 9, 10, and 11 for Braden, who's only playing in his 10th game, so he's driven in more than a run per game. First pitch, another switch hitter batting left, and the opening offering misses away. Shadows have started to creep across the field from the tree line behind the YD dugout along the third baseline. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Shadows stretching across the pitcher's mound and home plate. streaks of sunlight as Devin Burks, the catcher, will go and chat with his right arm and then turns right back around. Only made it about halfway. Streaks of sunlight have stretched across parts of the area in front of home plate. The third baseman, Derek Fabian, is in shadow. Pretty much everyone else on the field for Wareham is in direct sunlight, with Owen Diodati, the right fielder, and Max Anderson, the first baseman, getting the worst of it. The sun sets beyond the third base dugout here at Dennis Yarmouth High School, over the high school building in the parking lot behind us. The 1-1. Up the middle, gets past the mound and skips into center field, a base hit. Second hit today for Braden Montgomery. This one maybe not quite as exciting after the grand slam, but you'll take a 2-hit day if you're this Stanford Cardinal. He stands at first base with one away. And we'll get a pinch hitter here for Mike Bovey, who got his 2 at-bats, and Dominic Freeberger will enter the game for him.
Sam, you mentioned the shadows. I was talking to Zach Liu earlier this summer. He said, you know, when Caden was coming here, did you give Caden any advice? And Zach said, oh, I just told Caden how bad the shadows are in right field.
Freeberger, a right-hand hitter. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. Definitely want to have your sunglasses if you're playing on the right side of second base, regardless of whether you're in the infield or the outfield. And especially first baseman Max Anderson, you got to be careful. Any throw that comes from across the infield, you got to make sure you're seeing it. The 0-1 to Freeberger. Fastball called strike. Throw back to first. Montgomery dives head first safely.
Awfully close. Braden took a extraordinarily large secondary lead.
Dom Freeberger, Baltimore, Maryland native, playing now in his second game as a YD Red Sox. Got into the game in Hartford 2 days ago to make his summer debut. By way of UNC Asheville, they'll check on Montgomery at first. He's back safely. We'll head to use up his eligibility as a Yukon Husky. Two-way player for Asheville. And we saw both areas of that in Hartford. He threw a scoreless inning, 0-2. Upstairs a fastball. Also had a hit and 2 at-bats. The Yukon Husky future teammate of his out in the field, and Brian Padilla, the second baseman. Freeberger, pretty much a dead ringer for Luke Schliger in terms of the facial hair, a little bit of a mustache going, the brown curly hair that peeks out from underneath his navy blue helmet. Freeberger just a little taller, but our photographer Sadie Parker, who spends much of the game in the dugout with the team, said Freeberger and Luke Schliger yesterday were sitting next to each other in the dugout, and she did a double take. 1-2. Taken on the inside corner, strike 3 called. Freeberger down on a fastball. And we'll get another pinch hitter. Gunnar Antillian will hit for Johnny Long. So in an 8-0 game, Scott Pickler is getting some of his guys who have started the day on the bench in to get their at-bats.
Well, with 2 days off, nobody's going to be overworked or feel like they don't have enough rest. The All-Star break coming tomorrow.
Antillian pinch hitting for Johnny Long. Freeberger pinch hit for Mike Bovey. In Bovey's case, he still easing him back into a starting role after he missed a little over a week due to an injured hand. Saw him leave late in that game yesterday. A pickoff throw to first. It tips off the glove of Max Anderson, goes out of play, but the umpires are waving their hands, and I think they're just going to keep Montgomery at first base. Maybe time had been called before that pickoff attempt.
Must have, because that ball was out of play. It should be second base for Braden.
Not sure exactly why, but no argument from the Red Sox. In an 8-0 game, it's not necessarily an important runner there at first base here with 2 out in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch to Antillian. Right-hand hitter fouls it straight back, a fastball. Montgomery had a 1-out single. That's where he stands. Red Sox tallying a 7 spot in the second inning, tacking on a run in the 3rd. Couple of home runs in this game. Montgomery had the grand slam. The on-deck hitter Hayden Schott had the other, a solo shot in the 3rd. Antillian, 5'8", right-hand hitter from New Mexico State. They'll check on Montgomery again. Lots of attention being paid over there by Travis Staley, despite the lopsided score. Montgomery has not yet successfully attempted a base to steal. 0-1, rolled to the left side, past a diving Fabian and into left field. A ground ball single that Gunnar Antillian snuck past the third baseman. Second hit of the inning off of Staley. And Hayden Schott, who homered his last time, will take the swings with 2 out and 2 on. And Gunnar Antillian has started his summer as a YD Red Sox through now in his 4th game, 4 hits and 9 at-bats. He's looked capable doing it.
Yeah, the additions of Freeberger, Antillian, and Schott have paid off a lot so far for these YD Red Sox. I know they haven't played much, but all 3 of them have been effective.
Schott, a left-hand hitter. First pitch home to him is lined out towards left center field. Hayden Schott's got another base hit, making another extra base hit as it heads into the gap. Around from third, coming to score is Braden Montgomery. Up to third and stopping there is Antillian. Diving head first with an RBI double is Hayden Schott. And for a team that didn't hit for a lot of power in the month of July, Hayden Schott, a one-man wrecking crew in his summer debut, a homer, an RBI double. It's 9-0 YD.
When this YD team was struggling, one thing we talked about over and over again was the lack of extra base hits. This summer, 200 of their 250 hits have been singles. Maybe Hayden Schott and Braden Montgomery starting to find the swing, the answer to that problem.
Here's Fernando Gonzalez, so walking a ground out today. 2 in scoring position, 2 out. Red Sox leading 9-0 here in the 4th inning. Staley having trouble getting on the same page with Devin Burks. He steps off before the first pitch to Fernando. Gonzalez, a 173 hitter, was 0 for 3 yesterday against Katuitt, but had hits in 5 of his previous 6. First one home to the right-hand hitter, a slider that grabs the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Antillian, the runner on third, he singled. Ahead of the RBI double by Hayden Schott. He stands at second. 3 consecutive innings with a run on the board for the Red Sox, 7 in the second. And single runs in the 3rd and 4th. 0-1, swing and a miss, a changeup running inside. On Gonzalez, the count 0-2. Got some action in the pen for Wareham behind Staley. It's Clemson's Nick Hoffman who's gotten up and throwing. In case Staley needs help getting out of this 4th inning. 2 in scoring position, 2 out. An 0-2 count on Gonzalez, a run already home. Whitey providing fans lots to cheer about as we head into the All-Star break. The 0-2. Line the other way, right at Anderson, who spears it with a backhand grab at first base. Gonzalez nearly snuck one past the first baseman, but instead lines out. Red Sox strand a pair in scoring position. They do get a run on the board in this game as Hayden Schott picks up his 2nd extra base hit of the game. It drove home a run. At the end of 4 here at Red Wilson Field, a 9-0 lead for YD over Wareham.
Giardino's Family Restaurant has been locally owned and operated since 1970. Originally opened by Ed Giardino Sr. as the Tasty Tower, today his sons are still committed to providing the same quality meals and service that their customers have come to know and love. So if you're looking for a great night out, come on in to Giardino's Family Restaurant in West Yarmouth on Cape Cod. Giardino's, a restaurant for family, by family.
We go to the 5th. It's been a long time coming here on a slow-moving day at YD at Red Wilson Field, but it's gone in favor of the Red Sox so far. A 9-0 lead in favor of these Wareham Gatemen on the last day before the All-Star break. It's been all Red Sox here in South Yarmouth. Aaron Calhoun back for a second inning of work in relief of Grant Taylor. Worked a 1-2-3 fourth with a pair of strikeouts. Gets 9-1-2. In the lineup for the Gatemen, Brian Padilla, Ryan Campos, Max Anderson. Still no hits on the board for the Wareham Gatemen. Got some changes in the field for the YD Red Sox after a couple of pinch hitting appearances. Gunnar Antillian and Dominic Freeberger both stay in the game. Freeberger pinch hit and stays in at first base for Johnny Long, and Antillian at second. First one to Padilla is a breaking ball that misses away. Freeberger is in the lineup spot for Mike Bovey, plays first base. Antillian came in the lineup spot for Johnny Long. He will play second, sliding from second to third is Zach Liu. There's your changes. The 1-0 is lined on one hop to Cole Carrig, who plays it on the backhand. Long throw across, right on the money. Cole Carrig made that play look much easier than it was. Calhoun retires the first batter here in the 5th. Got to get through this top half of the 5th to make this game official. Not really a concern because not dealing with any bad weather in Yarmouth. Just a beautiful, beautiful day for baseball in South Yarmouth.
Dominic Freeberger over there at first base, not a position he's familiar with.
First pitch to Campos misses down and away a changeup. You're right, Carlo, but he looked natural receiving the throw from deep short by Cole Carrig there. And he's not using his own glove at first base. That first baseman's mitt, as he gets situated positionally on the right side of the infield, a little off the bag down the first baseline. Now he'll move back a little towards the line, looking like a guy who's not familiar over there. 0-1, misses in the dirt. Freeberger started working with the YD coaching staff when he got here a few days ago and said, I'll play wherever you need me to play. I can play all over. And they say, how about first base? You ever play first base? He said, I could if you need me to, but I don't have a first baseman's glove. They said, don't worry, we got you covered. Let's go over some footwork. 2 balls, no strikes on Campos. Reached on in errors last time, also a strikeout. 2-0. Popped up left side of the infield in foul territory. A few steps into foul territory. Zach Liu makes the catch two-handed. So Campos pops out to third in foul ground. 2 quick outs for Aaron Calhoun. He's retired all 5 to face him. Got some action in the YD bullpen. It's actually Braden Montgomery who has gotten up and throwing. So a chance for Montgomery to do the full Shohei, a grand slam and a pitching appearance in this game. Perhaps for Montgomery, we saw him pitch in Hartford. First one home to Anderson, misses away an off-speed pitch. Part of the name of the game for Braden Montgomery is that he's a very talented two-way player. Pitched 15 times for Stanford this year, including 3 starts on the mound for the Cardinal. 1 ball, no strikes to Anderson. Right-hand hitter, a slider that bends around the inside corner. And the count 2-0 to one of Wareham's 2 All-Stars that they've got in their starting lineup today. We saw Ryan Campos a moment ago, and Anderson, the other one here, the top 2 spots in their order. 2-0. Slider that misses down and away, and the count 3-0 to the right-hand hitting first baseman.
And Sam, don't be surprised if we see a couple other position players pitch. We saw Freeberger and Cole Carrig pitch in the blowout in Hartford.
The 3-0. Fastball misses high, a 4-pitch walk from Calhoun. And a base runner here with 2 out for Wareham brings up Owen Diodati.
And the impressive part about Freeberger, Carrig, and Montgomery all pitching is, one, Dominic Freeberger and Braden Montgomery hit 94 and 96 on the radar gun each. So that was filthy. And also, none of those guys allowed a run after the pitching earlier in the game allowed it 7. Of course, very different situational.
Freeberger also has experience as a two-way player. First pitch to Diodati is rolled softly up the middle, gets past the mound, fielded by the third baseman Lou in the shift on the right side of second. His throw to Freeberger is in time to retire the side. A 2-out walk against Calhoun, but he works around it. A scoreless top half of the fifth. We're official. We got a ball game here at Red Wilson Field. The Red Sox all over the Wareham Gateman. It's 9-0 as we're halfway through. Halfway home here at Red Wilson Field, bottom of the fifth. Red Sox all over the Gateman in this one. A 9-0 lead as we play in the middle stages. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez. 9-1-2 in the Red Sox order. Zach Lou followed by Homer Bush and Caden Connor. And they'll get a new arm. It's the right-hander out of Clemson, Nick Hoffman, who will make his summer debut for the Wareham Gatemen. A recent addition to this Gateman squad, as like many of the teams on Cape Cod following the MLB draft earlier in the week, they've had to scramble to fill holes on their roster. Cam Weston, one of the players grabbed out of their bullpen in the draft. First pitch to Zach Lou, misses up and in. Gateman's bullpen hadn't been outstanding this summer, but Weston among the better relievers in the league. 1-0 from Hoffman to Lou, misses down and in. Red Sox have had a similar issue. They haven't yet added a single reliever after losing 4 different guys in the MLB draft, but the addition of 2 two-way players have helped. 2-0, Lou lifts one in the air to center. Not all that deep. Chase Davis started in a few strides and now moves a few steps to his right, makes the catch, 1 away. Dominic Freeberger, Braden Montgomery, 2 two-way guys who have helped YD take the hits of guys leaving to go to the draft. So 1 out after Lou is retired. Homer Bush will take the swings. The Red Sox have 10 hits on the board, which is getting close to the most they've had in a single game this season. First pitch to Bush is down the middle, a strike. Homer's got 2 of those hits, a 2 RBI single in the second. He also singled back in the third, also has walked, so Homer's reached in all 3 of his at-bats today. 0-1, slider that misses away from Hoffman. The most hits the Red Sox have in a game this summer is 12. That came against Bourne here. 1-1, a slider, again missed away. They count 2-1 on Bush. They had 12 hits in that game and an 8-4 win on June the 21st. They did so in that game without the aid of a home run. They have 2 today. 2-1 down the middle, and Bush squares with Hoffman. It's 2-2. This year for Clemson, Nick Hoffman in his junior season, a 6.40 ERA across 18 appearances. 9 of those were starts. Here's the 2-2. Rolled softly towards the left side, fielded on the backhand by the shortstop right. Long throw, never going to get Homer Bush. He beats it out by plenty as the throw trickles away from Max Anderson, who didn't even handle the long toss by Blake Wright. Give Homer Bush his 3rd hit of this game and the 11th YD hit. This time an infield single after 2 opposite field singles. And the 1-out base runner brings Caden Connor to the plate.
Homer Bush Jr. with just his second 3-hit game of the summer. That last 3-hit game, Sam, came in a game against Bourne, in which YD had 12 hits as a team.
That was his summer debut, if memory serves. Here's Caden Connor, left-hand hitter, came off the bench, getting his third at-bat. The first pitch misses away and pops out of the glove of the catcher, Devin Burks. Caden pinch hit for Hunter Haas. Not sure what's going on with Hunter, but he took one at-bat after starting at shortstop, was lifted in that bottom of the second for Caden Connor, who walked ahead of the grand slam by Braden Montgomery. One ball, no strikes. Put up in the air along the left field line. Cam Chick in towards the line on a dead sprint. Dives! And he makes the catch! What an outstanding play by Cam Chick in foul territory, an all-out Superman dive. Wow. It's the second out. Caden Connor set aside, absolutely robbed. Just some bad luck on what could have been a foul ball.
Well, there's scouts here at Red Wilson Field, and if you want to talk about a guy who doesn't care what the score is and still is going to give his whole effort, that is a high-character play from Cam Chick and an athletic one.
First one to Cole Carrick, a fastball that misses high, and I'm sure Nick Hoffman appreciative of the effort that Chick just put on display there. That was outstanding. One of the best plays we've seen all summer. 1-0 to Carrick. He swung on and fouled straight back. Gold today has a hit in 3 tries. He's driven home a run. That RBI single was amidst all the chaos in that 7-run second inning for YD.
Homer Bush Jr. at first, Sam, and I think when he was named an All-Star earlier last week, it was a little bit of a surprise.
1-1. Rolled up the middle. Padilla on the backhand. Glove flip attempt to second. It's over the head of the shortstop right and trickles towards third. Padilla, rather than transferring to the bare hand for an underhand flip, he tried to flip with the glove, and it was not particularly close. Safely at second is Bush. Safe at first is Cole Carrick, who reaches on an E4.
And even Homer Bush Jr. admittedly said himself, you know, Birdman told him he was an all-star. He didn't exactly believe him. But, man, he's playing like an all-star as of late. 7-game hitting streak ended yesterday. What does he do? He picks up 3 more hits today. He's got multiple hits in 5 of his last 9.
Time called before Braden Montgomery sees his first pitch of this at-bat. You're right. Homer came into the day hitting .284 and certainly has probably gotten that up above 300 today with his 3 hits. First one to Montgomery. Swing and a miss. Waves at a changeup. In fact, if you allow me to do some quick math for you.
Oh, I love quick math.
Homer's up to 314 in his 70 at-bats. 22 hits and 70 at-bats.
Woo.
3 for 3 day will certainly help the average. 0 to Montgomery. Swing and a miss. Little backdoor slider that Montgomery swung through. Braden's had a great day. A pair of hits, including one of the loudest swings by a YD Red Sox all summer, a grand slam that opened the floodgates in that 7-run second. He's got 2 runners on, Bush at second, Carrick at first, both great runners with 2 out and 0-2 count here in the 5th. On its way. Swing and a miss. He got him. A slider. Braden Montgomery dispatched on just 3 pitches to set aside this 5th inning. On to the 6th we go. Red Sox can't score for the first time since the first frame here at Red Wilson Field. They're leading the Gatemen 9-0.
Hey fans, Debenheim is the official website development company of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They designed and developed our website and help us with marketing to bring more fans to the games and more visitors to our website. Debenheim helps organizations generate more leads and maximize their marketing budget. Check out Debenheim.com to learn more and be sure to like Debenheim on Facebook. That's DEVADIGM.com. Debenheim.com.
We go to the 6th here at Red Wilson Field. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez at our perch above home plate here in the press box in a 9-0 game as the Whitey Red Sox are laying a beating on the Wareham Gatemen, who got to go all the way back across the bridge home after this one to host the All-Star game tomorrow. Red Sox sprinting towards the break, where 10 Whitey Red Sox players will accompany those Gatemen across the bridge and be honored at the All-Star game tomorrow. Braden Montgomery, who has left his mark on this game with 2 hits, including a grand slam, will showcase his ability out on the mound for the first time on the Red Wilson bump. He will take over with the pitching duties here in the 6th in a 9-0 game. And this should be fun because Montgomery, when we saw him toss in Hartford just 2 days ago, he looked outstanding, pumping a fastball into the mid-90s. Didn't allow a run in his inning of work. He made 15 appearances on the mound for Stanford this year, including 3 starts. Gets Chase Davis, Blake Wright, and Derek Fabian. This is part of the Braden Montgomery experience. Lots of power at the plate as a switch hitter and a mid-90s fastball on the mound. Struggled with command at times for Stanford, which helped lead to an ERA above 5. First pitch to the left-hand hitting Davis, well away a fastball. But he will run that fastball up to about 96, has been clocked at 98 miles an hour. And he struck out 28 batters in 18 1/3 innings for Stanford this year as a freshman. 1-0 is lifted foul left side and out of play out towards the Red Sox bullpen along the left field line. That one clocked at 95 miles an hour from Braden Montgomery, making his 2nd pitching appearance in 3 days for YD. Good job by Scott Pickler to get his feet wet on the mound in that blowout loss in Hartford. Now a blowout in the opposite direction. 1-1, first changeup, and that was a dandy. Davis way out in front of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 83-mile-an-hour changeup to take some edge off that 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
We've heard Pick say he wants to start Braden at some point this summer.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Davis. Swing and a miss, another changeup, and Montgomery picks up a strikeout of his first batter here in this relief outing.
There's about 6 or so scouts sitting beneath us. They have all perked up. Anytime you can hit a grand slam and strike out somebody in the same game, you're doing it right. And Braden Montgomery putting on a little bit of a show here.
Montgomery struck out 1 in his perfect frame at Dunkin' Donuts Park in the Cape Cod Classic against Hyannis 2 days ago. After striking out Davis, he gets Blake Wright, a right-hand hitter, a walk and a strikeout. First pitch fouled off right side. A fastball that right carved the other way. 96 from Braden Montgomery, and I appreciate Carlo here alongside me in the press box. We do not have access to a radar gun here at Red Wilson Field, but the scouts below us do. So what is Carlo doing? He's standing up in the booth, he's got binoculars on, and he is watching those radar guns with every pitch. The 0-1 to right is a fastball that grabs the inside corner at 95. Quickly 0-2. Carlo is doing some real investigative journalism up here in the booth for me.
Well, anytime anybody's throwing 95 or 96, I want to know. And I think everyone else does at home, too.
Montgomery works from the first base side of the mound. Bases empty, 0-2 count here with 1 out in the 6th on its way. Misses low at changeup. Count 1-2. Red Sox lambasting these poor Wareham Gatemen who have not won a baseball game in 12 days. And it doesn't look like that's going to change until after the All-Star break. The Red Sox leading 9-0 in the middle stages of this one with 1 out in the 6th. Montgomery a full windup and the 1-2 home. In the dirt, he spiked the fastball. It skips away from Fernando Gonzalez, who the best he could do is just try to throw the glove at it.
And Sam, you mentioned how YD hasn't added anybody in the pen, but they have added Freeberger and Montgomery, who both throw north of 94. When you can add two-way guys, especially Dominic Freeberger, who's got now a couple of hits for you and pitching well, along with Montgomery's hitting and pitching, that's elite.
It'll help an already strong pitching staff. The 2-2. Lifted foul along the right field line. Red Sox played flip-flop on the left side of their infield before this inning. Zach Loop played the 5th inning at third, and Cole Carrick played the 5th inning at short. They switched places. Our first chance to see Loop play shortstop this summer, and the second time Cole Carrick has manned the hot corner. A 2-2 count on the shortstop for Wareham. Blake Wright, hands held above his head. And the 2-2. Taken in there, strike 3 call over the inside corner. He froze him with a fastball. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts for Braden Montgomery. And that is 9 strikeouts for Red Sox pitching already in this game as we're working with 2 outs here in the 6th. Aaron Calhoun in his 2 innings had 2. Grant Taylor struck out 6. Check that. That makes 10 strikeouts. Excuse my math error. Here's Derek Fabian, another right-hand hitter, the third baseman. First pitch to him, put up in the air, deep out to left. Caden Connor, his numbers to the infield, runs out of room, forget it. It bangs off the scoreboard and straightaway left. A solo shot for Derek Fabian. And Wareham gets on the board here in the 6th. A solo shot off Fabian's bat makes it 9-1. Derek Fabian picks up his first home run of this summer season. He hit 4 this year for Florida.
Well, when you throw 96, sometimes that's the danger. And the no-hitter broken up with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Even though Wareham had left 7 guys on base coming into this frame, nobody had reached on a hit. And the first one is a loud one.
Here's Devin Burks, another right-hand hitter, the catcher. A walk and a strikeout today. That ball, not much of a doubt off the bat of Fabian. First pitch home, a changeup in the dirt. So the first sign that maybe Braden Montgomery isn't perfect.
Shucks. I thought a 20-year-old Pac-12 freshman of the year was going to make no mistake.
You forget just how young this guy is and how outstanding of a talent he is. The 1-0 misses up and in. He's not draft eligible for 2 more years. He's a class of 2024 draft eligible guy. And usually the content websites that churn out mock drafts and think pieces about prospects and amateurs, the 2-0 fastball that hits the knees, called strike, 2-1. Usually those websites and those writers don't really work more than a year in advance, but the very, very, very way too early lists for the 2024 draft, guess who's right at the top of those lists? It's this guy, Braden Montgomery. 2-1. Lifted foul right side. The combination of both power, which he's put on display today with the grand slam, speed, runs like a gazelle, ability to play the defense in the outfield, arm, he's got one of the best outfield arms in college baseball, and you add in how good he can be on the mound. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Slider running down. Strikes out Devin Burks. So the home run for Derek Fabian, sandwiched by 3 strikeouts in a quick inning for Braden Montgomery. It's 9-1 here at Red Wilson Field. Braden Montgomery showing why he is so highly touted in college baseball right now. On to the bottom of the 6th we go. 9-1 lead. The Red Sox over Wareham. Under the golden hour sun here at Red Wilson Field. in the shadow of Dennis Yarmouth High School here in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts. The YD Red Sox with a big lead on the Wareham Gatemen as we head into the All-Star break. Tomorrow, these Gatemen will host the All-Star game and home run hitting contest at Spillane Field across the bridge. But today they are crawling backwards into what's a much-needed break for a Gateman team that hasn't won a baseball game in 12 days. They're 0-6-3 in their last 9, with a couple of off days sprinkled in there, and it looks like another loss. The Red Sox all over them in this one, a 9-1 lead as we play in the bottom of the 6th. Dominic Freeberger, followed by Gunnar Antillion and Hayden Schott, the 5, 6, and 7 spots in the YD lineup against Nick Hoffman, the right-hander out of Clemson, who will work a second inning in relief. And it's the 6th inning, which means it's time for the 6th inning trivia contest, brought to you by Cox and Media and Pixie 103, Cape Cod's Rock. First pitch to Freeberger, a fastball for a called strike. Dominic Freeberger came off the bench, took a called third strike in his one at-bat. We'll give you today's trivia, and you can answer before the next home game by going to ydredsox.com/trivia. The 0-1 is chopped on 2 hops to the third baseman, Derek Fabian. His throw across is in time. So 2 pitches and 1 out recorded for Nick Hoffman. If you answer the trivia question correctly, you'll be eligible to win an official YD Red Sox game jersey signed by the 2022 YD team. Here's today's question. What's the original name of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox franchise? You can submit your answer at ydredsox.com/trivia. And Carlo and I here in the broadcast booth, we wish you good luck. Gunnar Antillion now with 1 away. Antillion had a single in his first at-bat. He also came off the bench. First pitch slider from Hoffman. Nabs the outside corner for a called strike. All Red Sox in this one who are trying to pick up a second straight win over a Western Division foe. 0-1, misses away. Red Sox a chance to become just the second team on Cape Cod to reach 19 wins. If they can get through this one without allowing the Gatemen to score at least 8 more runs. The 1-1 is fouled off right side, another slider, and the count 1-2 on Antillion with nobody aboard and 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. Again, the Red Sox leading the Gatemen 9-1. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks, the only other team to eclipse 19 wins heading into the break. 1-2 is rolled on 2 hops to the second baseman, Padilla. He fields from the outfield grass up the middle. His throw to first is in time. 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th for Nick Hoffman. Red Sox, after beating Catuit yesterday, following the loss in the Hartford game against Hyannis the day before, look like they'll go into the break winners of 2 straight, and this an emphatic win if they can finish it off. Still plenty of time for the Gatemen to make some noise in this one. It's just the 6th inning as Dominic Freeberger, who we just saw ground out, 2-way player for UNC Asheville this year, has started to warm up in the Red Sox bullpen. We saw him pitch in that game in Hartford. Hayden Schott has helped out for the Red Sox today. His summer debut, he's got a homer and a double. First pitch home, he takes a strike. He's driven in a pair of runs, the left-hand hitter out of Columbia. And the Lion, with his mane of blonde hair peeking out from beneath his navy blue helmet, has been a difference maker today. 0-1 skips in and away from the catcher, Devin Burks. 1 ball and 1 strike. Guy with quite a bit of history with Scott Pickler. He played for him for 2 years at Cypress College, where Coach Pickler has long been one of the most important figures in that baseball program. 1-1, a fastball that misses high. Currently the head coach emeritus for Cypress College. He spent 2 years there, did Hayden Schott, and has been with the Columbia Lions for the last 3 years, but has only played 1 year for them. 2-1, slider misses down. Given that the Ivy Leagues didn't play for 2 consecutive seasons due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this year was Hayden Schott's first year in Lions blue. Hit 12 home runs in the Ivy League. 3-1. Is lined up the middle. That's going to get down in front of Chase Davis, a base hit. He gets over into the gap to cut it off on the backhand. A line drive single to center for Hayden Schott. He has 3/4 of the cycle in his summer debut with the YD Red Sox.
Hayden Schott has been absolutely terrific today, and that one nearly found the gap. If it wasn't for Chase Davis's great speed in center and a pretty backhand stab, probably would have been extra bases.
So with 2 away, a runner on first in a 9-0 game, 9-1 game rather. Now in the bottom of the 6th, Fernando Gonzalez will look to get on the board with a hit today. He's got a walk. He's 0 for 2 otherwise. First pitch, a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike.
Red Sox now with hits in every inning but the first.
They tie a season high with those 12 hits on the board. And they've done it with some power today with the 2 home runs, the Montgomery grand slam, and Shots long homer himself. 0-1. Missed away. The first time on this summer season that the YD Red Sox have hit more than 1 home run in a game. They have 3 extra base hits total today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gonzalez tips one foul out in front of a slider. Coming into this game, the Red Sox, despite how successful they've been this summer, had really done it without, frankly, any power. Over 80% of their hits this summer season were singles. 1-2. Ripped down the left field line. That ball sits just foul. Home plate umpire Mark Delaney throwing his hands into the sky. That ball only about 3 or 4 feet to the left of the spray-painted foul line down the left field line. Count remains 1-2 on Gonzalez. Coming into today, the Red Sox in the month of July, and by the way, it's July 22nd, had hit just 4 total home runs, and 3 of those had been hit by Johnny Long. The other one by Braden Montgomery hit one today. 1-2, a slider misses away. So YD kind of flipping the script on what the offensive narrative around this team has been. A team that takes advantage of mistakes and will single you to death. They've got 9 singles today, but the power standing up. 2-2, swing and a miss. A foul tip into the glove of Devin Burks on a fastball. Gonzalez set aside for the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 6th. Red Sox don't score. Hayden Schott has his 3rd hit of the day amidst the quick inning. As we go to the 7th, a 9-1 YD lead, and we get to see another 2-way guy. Dominic Friedberger heads to the mound. We'll be right back.
No summer in YD Red Sox Nation would be complete without our youth baseball clinics, where boys and girls ages 5 and up can learn the game of baseball and the importance of sportsmanship. Kids get to master the fundamentals of the game and sharpen their skills in a fun baseball clinic taught by Coach Pickler and the future major leaguers on our roster. Next week is our last clinic of the season, so go to ydredsox.com/clinics to register now. This year's youth baseball clinics are proudly sponsored by the Salty Dog Group of Keller Williams Realty, MP Sports Cards, and Giardino's Family Restaurant. The Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, thank you. 7th inning coming at you here at Red Wilson Field, where the YD Red Sox hold a 9-1 lead over the visiting Wareham Gatemen, who make their final trip to South Yarmouth here today. And a new pitcher on the mound for YD. It's the 2-way star, the righty, Dominic Friedberger. Batting out of the 5-hole today. Friedberger now pitching as he takes the baseball from Braden Montgomery, another 2-way player for YD. Friedberger pitched 1 inning just a couple of days ago against Hyannis in Hartford in the 7-3 YD loss. He did not strike anybody out and did not walk anyone. An inning of clean work for Dominic Friedberger as he sat him down in order. Friedberger faces Cam Chick, Brian Padilla, and Ryan Campos, the 8-9 one-hitters for Wareham. Switch hitting, Cam Chick batting from the left side, faces off against the righty Freeberger. Black hair flowing out of his camo hat. He comes set belly button high. The righty kicks and deals. Fastball misses low. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Freeberger this past season at UNC Asheville, heading to UConn. Pitched in 11 appearances, a 3.09 ERA. 1-0. Fastball, swing and rake down the left field line. The left fielder, Caden Connor, going back. Shortstop, Cole Carrick makes a run. Nobody can find the baseball. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Try to get you the defensive changes for YD. It looks like in left now is Shot for Connor. In right field back is Montgomery for Shot. So Montgomery, who is DHing in right. Freeberger goes from first to the mound, and Caden Connor goes to first. A whole mess on your scorecard. Switching lefty, Cam Chick looks on. A 1-1. Change up, he just gets a piece, taps it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 9-1, the Whitey Red Sox lead the Wareham Gatemen. Base is empty and 1 out. Freeberger came out of the pen in those 11 appearances. 14 Ks in 11 2/3, 6 walks. Time is called. Shift is on for the switch-hitting lefty Cam Chick. The third baseman, or the shortstop, Zach Liu, is over to the right of second. Third baseman, Cole Carrick, the lone fielder on the left side. 1-2, strike 3 call. Changeup finds the zone. First strikeout of the summer for Dominic Freeberger is one looking. Cam Chick retired. The two-way players have faced 5 batters combined and struck out 4. Here's Brian Padilla.
Not bad. As we like to say when good things happen on the broadcast, that'll play.
That'll play. Base is empty and 1 out. 9-1, Whitey leads Wareham. And first pitch on its way to the righty, Brian Padilla, is a fastball at the knees for a strike. Flag quiet in left. The outfield is in the sun, and the infield in the shadows. Trees lightly blowing back and forth. 0-1. Fastball skips in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fans have started to go home, and rightfully so. This one not exactly close. 7 runs in the bottom of the second for the Red Sox. Then Singleton's in the third and the fourth. Lone run and lone hit for Wareham came in the 6th. The 1-1. Padilla checks his swing. Did he go? No, says first baseman Mark Lima. 2 balls and a strike. 2 future teammates pitching to each other as Freeberger is off to spend his final year of eligibility at UConn, joining Brian Padilla. 2-1. Fastball misses low and in. 3 balls and 1 strike to Padilla, who's 0 for 2 today. Freeberger looks on, gives a big exhale. He bends at the waist, then stands atop the mound straight up. 3-1. Fastball. Padilla swings, uppercuts one, foul territory, down the third base line, coming in the shortstop, Cole Carrick, and he called it. Called off Fernando Gonzalez. No one got it.
I think that was just a bit of poor communication as Freeberger, Gonzalez, and Carrick all came and converged on that baseball, and I don't think anyone really thought it was theirs, and they all just kind of assumed someone else was going to call it, and it dropped between all 3 of them. If there's ever a time to make a poor communication mistake, it's in a 9-1 game, but still a catchable baseball, certainly by one of the 3 of them.
Felt like Gonzalez pulled up, and Carrick called it, but was unable to find the ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, base is empty. 9-1, YD leads Wareham with 1 out in the top of the 7th. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to left. Going back to left fielder shot. He's at the track. He's looking up. He leaps and makes the catch. Okay, Hayden shot. Not a home run robbery, but a nice play in left.
Yeah, you got to get off your feet a little bit on that one and be careful of that chain link fence. If you're going to leap into the wall, you want to get it into the part that's a little more relaxed and not one of those painful poles that hold it up. Still a really fine little play there.
So 2 away. And in stands Ryan Campos, left-handed batter. Freeburger on the precipice of a 1-2-3 inning. The pitch, and the left-hander takes a changeup in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Let's reset the defense while we have a chance. I know we did at the top of the inning, but it's a mess. Montgomery is in right field. Bush Jr. in center. Schott in left. On the infield from third to first, 1-0. Fastball. Just misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. It's Cole Carrick at third, Zach Liu at short, and Tillian at second, Caden Connor at first. The only guy who has not moved the position today is Fernando Gonzalez behind the plate. Here in golden hour at Red Wilson, the 2-0. Hit on the ground slowly towards second, and tripping up is Ryan Campos. He doesn't even run down the line. He might have twisted something. Spun like a top as he grounded that ball to second. The second baseman and Tillian threw him out, and Campos is down on his left knee as the trainer comes out for Wareham. We'll take a break and come back here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Time to stretch midway through 7, 9-1. YD leads Wareham. We welcome you back to YD Red Sox baseball here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Carly Menes alongside Sam Lebowitz as we welcome you into the bottom of the 7th inning. Hope you stretch. 9-1. The YD Red Sox lead the Wareham Gatemen, and a new pitcher on the mound. It's the righty out of Louisville, Alex Galvin, who is making his 7th appearance of the summer. 4.26 ERA for Galvin in 6 1/3. And he begins by facing the 9-hole hitter, Zach Liu. Homer Bush Jr. and Caden Connor due up 9-1-2 in this bottom of the 7th. Red Sox have had a hit in every inning but the first. A 7-run second, the big number in this game. Right-handed bat of Liu stands in. First pitch, and he takes a fastball on the inside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. First time for Galvin to face Liu, who picked up his first hit of the summer on a bunt single in the 2nd. Galvin set to the belt, the 0-1. Liu swings through a fastball and fouls it down the right field line. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. The outfielders sunbathed, the infielders in the shadows. In the bottom of the 7th, Liu in open stance. The bat hovers above his right shoulder. 0-2. Fastball high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Zach Liu. Bright green tape on the handle of the black bat of Liu, who holds it almost like a half swing over his shoulder. 1-2, and he pokes one down the right field line into foul territory. The right fielder, Max Anderson, racing over. He makes the catch a couple feet from the imaginary line in the bleachers in right. 1 away. Zach Liu is 1 for 4.
Still nice to have a 1 on the day for Zach Liu, given that he started, 0 for 18, something along those lines.
Here's Homer Bush Jr., who's had a better day than anybody else. He is 3 for 3 in terms of amount of hits he had.
Yeah, doesn't have a grand slam or an inning pitched on the mound, but
Opening offering to the righty. And he takes a slider for his strike on the outside part of the plate. No one in this YD lineup has had 4 hits in a game. Homer Bush Jr. can be the first today. 1 out, bases empty, 9-1 YD. 0-1. Bush fouls one down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes. Final game before the All-Star break. And Homer Bush Jr. will be on a bus to Wareham, or maybe in a carpool. Not sure how the players get to Wareham. As the gatemen, who are playing YD now, host the All-Star game. 0-2. Bush taps one off the end of the bat, foul. A couple of fans go out onto the field, and one with a red shirt and blue pants scoops it up. Good form, got in front of the baseball, bent the knees, was ready. Bush stares in, bat in front of his right pec. The 0-2. And he swings and rips one on a line into center. It drops in front of the center fielder, Chase Davis. And Homer Bush Jr. was at 4 for 4. After that single to center, how about the All-Star from Grand Canyon? Have yourself a day.
can't really finish can't really finish going into the All-Star break any better if you're Homer Bush. 4 hits and a walk in your 5 trips. He has not been retired today by these Wareham gatemen. It has been very fun to watch Homer play his best brand of baseball, wreaking havoc at the top of the order for about a week and a half now for these Red Sox.
Left-handed bat of Caden Connor swings at the first pitch, pokes it down the right field line, his first base hit of the day. Bush rounding second, heading for third. He's in there standing. The throw-in from the right fielder, Diodati, cut off by the second baseman, Padilla. As Caden Connor joins the party, back-to-back hits on back-to-back pitches by the Whitey Red Sox. Runners at the corners with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the switch hitter, batting from the left side, Cole Carrig. Cole is 1 for 4 with an RBI. It's got to feel good for Caden Connor. He popped out in foul territory on a SportsCenter top 10-esque play by the left fielder Cam Chick on an all-out dive. Opening offering to Carrig. He looks at a fastball well high. 1 ball and no strikes. I believe, Sam, with the 4-hit day by Homer Bush Jr., he has surpassed Cole Carrig for the best average on the Whitey Red Sox team. Cole came in hitting .313.
I think Cole still has him beat in terms of qualifying because he's got more at-bats.
1 out. Carrig hits one the other way into left. A little looper coming in the left fielder. Chick, it bounces by him. Coming home on his feet, Homer Bush Jr. scores. Into third is Caden Connor. Cole Carrig with a knock for an RBI. His second hit. It is now 10-1. The Whitey Red Sox lead the Wareham Gatemen in the bottom of the 7th. 15 hits for YD. They continue to pour it on. That ball took an odd hop. Chick was going to take it on the hop, but it just skipped by him.
Yes.
2 RBIs for Carrick.
They're putting a hit on the board. Going to be an error or no error on the play. Just a double, I think, because it just bounced past the left fielder Chick. Didn't touch it with his glove, and Cole Carrick gets a little bloop double.
Here's Brandon Montgomery, who's got 4 RBIs today off a grand slam, and he's also struck out 3 pitching on the mound. Switch hitter batting from the left side. The pitch, and he takes a fastball that misses in. 1 ball and no strikes.
If you're Brandon Montgomery, you can really put an exclamation point on this one if you can get into the teeth of a baseball again and really make it a day to remember for the youngster.
2 on, 1 out. bottom 7. Montgomery swings at the 1-0, lifts it into right, hangs up there for the right fielder, Diodati, tagging from third and scoring without a test is Caden Connor. Throw in is on a hop, cut off by Padilla. On to third goes Cole Carrick. It's a sacrifice fly for Montgomery, and that makes it 11-1 in the bottom of the 7th. YD leads Wareham with 2 outs. RBI number 5 for Braden Montgomery, who now has 12 in 10 games this season.
That'll play.
We talked about earlier, before Montgomery was here, one thing that YD struggled with was hitting with runners in scoring position. Well, that has not been a problem for Braden Montgomery. Here's Freeberger, right-handed bat, looks at a first pitch slider for his strike. Well, no balls in 1 strike. Trees staying still in center, the flag lightly blowing in left as the sun continues to set behind the high school behind us. And Dennis Yarmouth, Carrig at third, 2 outs, the 0-1. Freeberger pokes one right towards the first baseman, Anderson, off the bag. He underhand flips to the covering Galvin, and that ends the bottom of the 7th. 2 runs come across on 3 hits, and 1 left on. We head to the 8th inning. It is 11-1. The Whitey Red Sox over the Wareham Gatemen. Fans, don't forget to go out to the All-Star game tomorrow at 6 o'clock first pitch, and Wareham, where a YD Red Sox will be representing your home team here in South Yarmouth as the Red Sox look to be a part of a Eastern Division team that takes on the West. Gates open at 2 o'clock with batting practice and autographs, as YD sends the most to the All-Star game, tied with Hyannis. Cole Carrick is going to be one of those All-Stars. He's pitching, but he's not an All-Star for that. The home plate umpire, Mark Delaney, is asking Cole to take off the tape on his wrist, as pitchers are not allowed to have anything on the wrist, so he does that. Grant Taylor, who started this game 3 hours ago, pops out of the dugout and is going to go take the tape from Cole. If you haven't had a chance, after this game, Grant Taylor has a great segment with the league on YouTube, where he was mic'd up for the game in Hartford, Connecticut. To the top of the 8th inning, 11-1. Yes, that's the score. The Whitey Red Sox lead the Wareham Gatemen. Here's the right-handed bat of Max Anderson. Carrick kicks and deals. Fastball catches the outside part of the plate. No balls in 1 strike. Carrick, the 3rd position player to pitch today, taking the ball from Freeberger. And before that, Montgomery. The 0-1. Fastball misses in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Taking Cole's place at 3rd is Freeberger. A lot of defensive changes for YD. Here's the 1-1. Fastball hit off the end of the bat right towards second on 3 hops. The second baseman, Antillion, gloves letters high, throws to first. and sits down Anderson. There's one away. That fastball at 92 from Cole Carey. Here's Owen Diodati. The two-way players for YD have allowed just one hit. It's the only hit of the game for the Wareham Gatemen, a solo home run into left field by Derek Fabian. Right into bat of Owen Diodati. Check that. We have a pinch hitter for Wareham. It is Carter Graham out of Stanford for Owen Diodati, right-handed batter. He swings and misses at a first pitch changeup. Carter Graham hitting 146 this summer, 0-1. Fastball hit back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes, 11-1. YD leads Wareham. Oh, 2 from Carey. Fastball misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sun is pretty much set. We believe this might be the final inning here at Red Wilson Field. No point to play on. The 1-2. Carey hits Graham on the left hamstring. There's a changeup. Carter heads down to first on the hit by pitch. First base runner since Fabian back in the 6th. Here in the top of the 8th, 11-1. YD leads Wareham. Last time this summer, the Gatemen make the trip to South Yarmouth. Red Sox will be there next week across the bridge. And Wareham on the precipice of losing their 7th of their last 10. They tied the other 3. They're 0-7-3 in their last 10 games after the completion of this one. Here's the pitch to the lefty, Chase Davis. He fouls it off the end of the bat towards the on-deck circle of the Red Sox. That is vacant. No balls and 1 strike. 1 out, 1 on. The third baseman, Dominic Freeberger, playing to the right of second base. In the hole, Antillian in shallow right field. Brady Montgomery, the right fielder, is a couple paces back. A lead at first for Carter Graham, who does not have a stolen base this summer. The 0-1 misses up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Carrick doesn't have the 96 mile-an-hour speed that Montgomery has, but he still throws hard, 93. So you got 3 position players who can pitch who all throw higher than 93. That is 1-1. Change up, swing and a miss.
Cole Carrick.
When you think about the versatility that Scott Pickler has in this lineup, the way these 3 guys have pitched, Sam, I know it's all been in blowouts, but you got to imagine Pick could trust them in a real situation with actual stakes.
I think Montgomery and Freeberger more than Carrick because those are guys who pitch a lot in college situations, but Carrick clearly knows what he's doing.
1-2 is a fastball away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And at first is Carter Graham after being hit by a pitch.
And I think he's enjoying it too, is even almost more important is that Cole, I think, anytime this score gets run up, regardless of whether it's in favor or against the Red Sox.
2-2, foul back to the screen on the fastball.
He probably goes up to Pick and says, "Need someone to eat an inning today, Coach? I got you. I wanna be out there and I wanna shove out on that mound."
You're spot on. You remember the first time Whitey played this Wareham team? It was a blowout Wareham's way here at Red Wilson Field. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Change up on the outer edge, and there's the first strikeout for Cole Carey. Gets the second out of the top of the 8th. At first, Carter Graham still leads, 11-1. YD on top over Wareham in the top of the 8th. But in that game, Luke Franzoni ended up pitching against this Wareham team, the 11-3 Gateman win. But Carrick was throwing a bullpen, even though he knew he wasn't going to pitch anyway, just for fun. Ready, Blake Wright looks on and takes the first pitch fastball away. 1 ball and no strikes. Flag quiet and left. The sun a bright, bright orange just above the middle school behind us. Sky starting to turn a cyan blue. 1-0. Fastball chopped up the middle, ranging, diving to his left. A good effort by the shortstop, Lou. He can't catch up to the baseball. Kicking it around in center is Hummerbush Jr. Throw on to third. The tag by Freeberger. They got him. That kind of day for the Whitey Red Sox. Homer Bush Jr. almost lets one get away from him. He guns down the runner to third in Carter Graham, and it looks like that is going to do it. A single from Blake Wright ends things in the top of the 8th. 11-1, the Whitey Red Sox come away with a win here at Red Wilson Field as they head into the All-Star break with smiles on their faces. 15 hits, the most in a game, just 2 hits allowed, a no-hitter, 5 1/3 through this game as we welcome you into our broadcast booth. Carlo Jimenez alongside the great pipes of Sam Lebowitz. And Sam, this one, a fun one for YD.
Oh, a much-needed fun one for a Whitey Red Sox team that had struggled through most of the month of July to put runs up on the board, to tally extra base hits, to hit for really any home run power. But they got the big hit with the bases loaded today to put this game out of reach. And from that point on, after Braden Montgomery's grand slam, smooth sailing in this one. Had a little bit of fun, too. Got to see Cole Carrick finish it out on the mound with his second pitching appearance this summer, and it looked like he really enjoyed himself.
We look ahead towards this next week after the All-Star break. If the score holds in Katuitt, the Whitey Red Sox need a tie, a win, or a Chatham loss to come away with a playoff spot. How big is it for this team? Did you, after struggling last year, not making the playoffs, and really dominating the Eastern Division this year, come away with that playoff spot?
Oh, it's absolutely vital. The Red Sox haven't won an Eastern Division since back in 2016. They've got, obviously, coming into the day up 9 points, a real legitimate chance to do that this summer, and they're getting closer and closer with every single win. They, like you said, probably at the end of this day, just one singular point away from clinching an actual playoff spot, period, not the Eastern Division just yet, but that's coming soon for these Red Sox. They're playing great, and it's huge if they can clinch this early with still 8-9 games left in the season coming after the All-Star break, because that means that by the time the playoffs actually come around, Scott Pickler can make sure that the guys he needs rested are rested, and you can kind of do whatever you got to do. Rest whoever you need to rest, sit whoever you need to sit, throw whoever you need to throw in the last few games of the summer season to be sure that when August 4th rolls around and the playoffs start, you are in prime position to go and win a championship.
Well, the Whitey Red Sox head to the All-Star break with an 11-1 win over the Wareham Gatemen. They set a record for the most hits in a single game this summer by the team. We will see you in 2 days for our next matchup. YD goes to Katuitt for a 4:30 first pitch at Lowell Park. For Carlo Jimenez and Sam Lebowitz, our great producer, Zach Clapp, we're saying so long. Enjoy your All-Star break. The Whitey Red Sox will, as they come away with an 11-1 win over the Wareham Gatemen.